Hey, it's Ninja Boy. Welcome to Mega Man Unlimited. Kind of some post-production recording here, and really, it's just because I got extremely pissed at this game, and I just needed to concentrate for this level. As you can see, I have like 9 lives right now because I went and ground for bolts for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that, to afford all the lives. I have like 9 lives and I think like 6 or 7 shock braces, and I had the 1 beat which I used, and I wish I didn't use it, but you know, it wasn't really a big deal in the end. But something about this level rubbed me the wrong way, and I really just needed to focus on it and not be doing commentary during it, which sucks. This is a fun game, don't get me wrong. It really is a fun game, and I would recommend people play it, but just the difficulty curve of this game is so high. There was only one kind of respawn area, and that's more than halfway through the level. It really feels very unbalanced where the respawn is compared to how far through the level you actually have to go to get to it, which is really unfortunate because it's a really well-made level. Obviously, in a fan game like this, level design has to be pretty high, but you know, some things in this level are just really kind of lacking, and it's really sad because of how I don't even know how to put it. It's just really sad that the game is so well built, but there's certain things about it that are just really bad and off-putting, just because of the design of it. So here you can see full E-tanks, full weapon tanks, 8 shock braces. I thought I only had like 6, but 8 shock braces. And I still have 20 bolts left over, and that's mainly because I couldn't buy another life, because 9 is the max you could have. But, you know, I really wanted to be prepared for this entire level going into it, because of how many times I've probably spent a good 4.5 hours. Yeah, about 4.5 hours. I don't know if that'll be shown on my final time for the game, because there are quite a few times that I played for like an hour and a half, and I didn't save because there was no point in it. I just closed the game because I got frustrated. I rage quit, and it's really sad. In this room right here, that's the respawn room. So if I die, that's where I go back. And I actually do die. I die like twice or something in this whole run, which isn't too bad, but could have been better. In here, I screw up on that ladder, which I hated, but there wasn't much I could do about it. So I just said whatever and called it good. I'm not good at post-production audio, I will say that right now, but I wanted to have some sort of commentation to this instead of just a 9-minute video, actually almost 10-minute video with no commentation at all. So I felt it was justified me actually, you know, taking a bit of time to actually talk over everything. So that's really that. This level is really well built, and it really is good, but there's so many little quirks about it that are just horribly frustrating, and it's really hard to deal with. It really is. That I can't say a ton of nice things about it just because of how irritating it really was. And here's the really, really crappy part about this whole thing. I would die continuously right near the end. And it's only because of the upside down mechanic of the whole thing, which it just throws you off. If you actually play it and you're playing upside down, it is extremely, extremely disorienting to actually do this. So I also took it upon myself just to cut out all the deaths. I know some people really like that, but I figured it was a much better idea just to cut them out and have a decent transition. It's not perfect by any means, but a pretty decent transition to the next part of the level. So I wasn't sitting there forever. I think in total the original recording was like 16 minutes. Actually, no, it was like 14 minutes. So there's only like 4 minutes of cut video, but I figured that was better than what I could have done. So there's that whole thing. And I'm like right here. I would die at this part. I would fall into the spikes there. The pit's back a little bit. I fell into this pit. I've fallen into those spikes because I jumped a little too far forward as I'm coughing. I've fallen into those pits a lot. And that is the most annoying thing about this entire thing, is I would die right there. Just back there. And this is almost the end of the level. This is almost the end of the level. And that is what frustrated me the most while playing this, is because I knew where I would die, and I knew why I would die. And knowing that, and knowing how close to the end of the level you actually are, is extremely frustrating. And so, a lot of my commentation was just me being horribly pissed off at this game for just doing what it was doing, for being the game it is. And I can't be super mad at it, but at the same time, it's just how unfortunate the game was to just do, like, to be made how it was. This level is just ridiculous and very unforgiving. So here we finally get to the boss. I go to the weakness of the thing. I went and looked it up. I didn't even care. I'm like, I just want to get over this, get through this boss, and call it good. So here's some dialogue between Bass and Proto Man and Mega Man. Kind of some plot. I mean, it doesn't really make a ton of sense, but it is there. So this is going on. You have to fight Proto Man. He's not super hard to deal with. He has a charge shot, which I'm really surprised you don't actually get. You don't get his charge shot. And there, I just made a stupid, idiotic move. It wasn't really that big of a deal. It's just like, whatever. I'll just take the death and continue. Because I know how Mega Man is actually going to react to things, I was just like, I'm just going to kill him. Yoku Man does, it's like 2 damage instead of the normal 1 damage. The only thing that kind of did more was Nail Shield, and that was just because it does quote-unquote 4 damage, because each nail does 1 damage and it ignores shields. Or, not shields, but stall damage. And I want to point out, Mega Man, Proto Man was on the left side of the screen, Mega Man was on the right, and they kind of just switched places just for Proto Man to kneel down. I'm really wondering what the design behind that was, why that was chosen to be how it was. But, you know, that's not really a big deal. But anyway, I beat the level. This is the end, and there's not really anything else I wanted to say about the entire thing. I mean, that's really it. This level was good. It really was. But it was so frustrating with how unforgiving it was, and the fact that I had to play it so many times, get the muscle memory down, and then not talk over it, not talk through it, just really frustrated me. And it really sucked, but I mean that's sometimes the way it goes. But anyway, I'm getting into here. Kind of went over the video length, but this has been Ninja Boy, and I will be back later with more Mega Man Unlimited next time. See you guys then.
That is ridiculous. That is utterly ridiculous. Okay, what other car can we do? The bird. Just gotta do the bird. Duck, 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 duck. Oh. Oh, that. Oh! Man, that is brutal.